Right, so it's working with our clients to anticipate what those changes are going to be and to prepare for it. And also if our clients need to shift, so if they're commercial real estate holders and they're seeing that they're having a lease that's coming due or a loan that's coming due, being able to shift and maybe remodel, consider different types of tenant improvements to attract different types of businesses that might not be the traditional commercial office tenant, maybe focus more on retail. And again, it's going to depend on where you are in our region. You know, if you're in downtown Boulder, downtown Denver, Fort Collins, it's going to be different than if you're out in some of the suburban areas. So we're helping them plan and navigate that, and it is going to be a challenge.
Yeah, the housing market is obviously something we follow closely, and in 2012 what we're expecting is we're hoping that people get used to the new higher rates that they've seen. Because quite honestly, these new higher rates have caused a lot of people to stay on the sidelines from not listing or selling their home, maybe not moving. And so that's really created an inventory problem. And I'd say in our markets in particular, especially in Colorado, inventory problems is one of the biggest issues that we have. And so not only do we need new inventory coming on the market in the form of new homes, but we need people with existing homes to be willing to sell and list those. We're anticipating that starts to free up a little bit mid-2025 as people now adjust to this new environment. If that happens, that will help us in a large area because we need the inventory to get going. The inventory will then still have some challenges, but now all we'll have left is the rate environment that we're in, and I think that'll be challenging. The other area for Colorado that's challenging in housing is just housing affordability. It's an issue, and we face it all across the nation. We face it everywhere. We have a lot of people working on this. It's a very large, complex, involved issue. We have to make housing more affordable, especially at the entry level and for our workers to be able to do things. There's a phrase we use called drive to qualify, and it's how far away from where you work how long do you have to drive to qualify for a home? And that's getting 30, 40, 35, 40 miles. And so with a return to work and driving to work in a long time, all those challenges are going to be real things for us all to face.
In 2025, there's a lot of concern about the office space and how that can be addressed. In real estate, the affordability of housing is a huge issue. The construction costs, that's a big unknown in terms of what could happen, whether it's the cost of raw materials with tariffs or the supply chain of labor. These are all huge questions that are going to be challenging in particular in the real estate sector. So we'll have to see. Landlords, in particular in the office space, certainly have some headwinds, and whether it's large spaces, large square footage that's underutilized, and when those leases roll, might roll into a smaller space with the same tenant or a new tenant. A lot of subleasing of people who've abandoned space but are still at this moment paying the rent. That is going to be a huge challenge for how do we as a community respond to that? What kind of use, if it's not going to be office, what is a higher and better use? And that's a huge question in front of those landlords right now. The small businesses that are occupying those spaces, whether they're expanding, contracting, or staying the same, it's a good time for them to be bringing people back to work because it's more affordable because of the dynamics of the supply and demand. So people are moving from Class B office space into Class A office space and paying the same rent. That's a huge win for the landlord who has that space that they're being able to have people move into. And it's a huge win for the businesses that are able to offer a more compelling office environment for their employees. They're trying very hard to attract back into that office. But there are definitely going to be winners and losers in the office space. The older office space in particular, that's going to be a challenging spot as they reach their functional end of life. It may not be a retrofit. It may involve some dynamite.